Hi! Hey party people! How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Hello, hello, hello! Alright, so today is all about concealer, foundation, primer, time setter, you name it. Pretty much your base face. So, I'm coming at you to show you how amazing our concealers are and how paired with the foundation you get a complete coverage that is perfect for you. So the first thing I usually do is spray my face with a little bit of our primer, First Base Primer, and I shared a video earlier today about the primer and the time setter, which they're magical, you guys. Holds your makeup up all day. However, they come in travel sizes, 2-ounce bottles, perfect for your carry-on luggage if you're hitting up the humid Florida, Texas weather, or you're going on a Caribbean vacation in the winter. These are definitely something you need to have in your travel bag. So the great thing about these is that it's really easy. You do like a T across your face and just give it a minute and it dries. And then concealers. So I recommend whenever anyone's interested in our foundation and concealers that you do the palette trio. So you get 2 concealers and a foundation for one price. And it's a discounted price slightly because of the fact that you're getting it in a palette form. However, if you're not really sure on how to use concealers or what to use your concealers for, I'm going to start with those today. So as you can see, I have some scars and some blemishes from a major hormonal breakout that I had about, it started in October of 2017, and it wasn't finally until about May of 2018 that it subsided. And it took some serious, I had to do with some long-term antibiotics and some birth control to get things back under control. And the scars that have diminished, if you saw my One Drop Wonder post already, it's amazing how much these scars have gone down already. I'm pretty impressed because it hasn't even been a full year yet and they've really turned over pretty quick. So thanks to our LimeLife Biocone skincare. So typically right now, I use Concealer 1 to kind of hide some of the red, and then I also use Concealer 1 under my eye to get rid of some of the purple colors. And then I'm using Concealer 3, which is very similar to my foundation shade right now, to kind of touch up the rest of the area. So we'll start with Concealer 1, and Concealer 1 is a color corrector, so it has a very yellow undertone to it. So it's really great at color correcting. So like I said, if you have really dark eyes, this is great. Concealer 0 is like our highlighter concealer, so this is after I put on my foundation what I'll use over that. So Concealer 1 is what I'm using right now. Again, yellow undertone to this. And I just use this to kind of set the base to really hide those bags. And then I'll also use it on these really red ones. Just to really kind of tame them down a little bit. And then I'll go into my Concealer 3 and really cover up these scars. I mean, hello! And my makeup routine in the mornings is pretty quick. The longest part that I take on these days is my eyebrows because I've become obsessed with eyebrows, and so I am like all about doing your brows. I think they change your face so much. It's pretty crazy. So I'm using that 3 to cover up kind of my little sunspots that I have on my nose. I mean, this is some major pigmentation in our concealers. These concealers are also waterproof, so you could actually mix a little bit of our Due Date with these concealers, and it will turn it into like a B&B cream, and you can use the concealers as your foundation if you're doing something outside on either a rainy day, really humid day, or if you have a swim day and you want to just have something on your face. So that is fantastic. So as you can see, I've already got some really great coverage going on with the concealers alone. So our foundations. Right now I'm currently using an Olive 2, and you can see my chest is a little bit darker than what my face is because I usually am kind of a spaz about the sunscreen that I put on my face. I use higher SPF, and then I also usually have my foundation on just to help with that and UV protectant and just to kind of like keep things covered. The foundation isn't UV protectant, by the way, but it just kind of helps reflect it. So our foundation is a wax-based foundation, which means it goes over your pores and it doesn't seep into your pores, which reduces the risk of breakouts, okay? This stuff right here is so great. The pigmentation is 50%. Most of the store-bought stuff that you get, like your Target brand or your CoverGirl Maybelline, is about 25% pigmentation. And then the stuff that you get at like Ulta or Sephora, that's gonna run in like the 30% range. So this stuff was actually originally formulated by RCMA, which is a huge makeup company. And this is actually used by makeup artists on celebrities. So I've seen Kris Kardashian using this formula. However, LimeLife has now reformulated it slightly so that it's completely paraben-free. Yes, our foundation is completely paraben-free, which is a huge milestone when it comes to foundation. Like I said, this wax-based foundation doesn't seep into your pores, in turn, you know, making your acne breakouts less, but it's also not absorbed by your bloodstream like your skincare products typically are. So the fact that it's not only wax-based but also paraben-free is huge. We have two lines of foundation. We have our, well, I should say three. We have our Shintos, which are our yellow-based foundations. So if you tan really well, you don't really have a whole lot of red undertone or pink undertones to you, the Shinto line is typically where I send people for that skin tone. Then we have our olive, so olive 2 is what I am right now, and that is more for our pink undertone friends. So those that maybe burn a little easier, which I don't really burn ever, so it's kind of funny that I fall into the olive category. I think everybody's just a little different, but if you want to know what color you are, I can easily match you online. So after this video, I'm going to post our color matching quiz, and you'll earn entries for commenting your results on that. And then I can help put together did you answer all the questions correctly, and do I think that you got a right answer based on some of your pictures that maybe I'll see in your profile, or if you are like adamant you really want to get this foundation because you're going to see how phenomenal the coverage is, then I'll have you send me a selfie completely barefaced in really great lighting, such as a great mirror like this, our Ricky mirror, or a big picture window, okay? So the other great thing about this wax-based formula is that it's really versatile. I can actually apply my foundation 3, 4 different ways, maybe even more. The biggest and most favorite way is with the Blenderful. So this Blenderful here is a silicone-free sponge with a flat base and a pointy edge, and you can use it two ways. You can use it dry, exactly how it comes, and this is going to give you more full coverage. So typically you just kind of take it and you do a little dab here, and this is going to really go a long ways, but it's going to give you that, not heavier look, but again, more full coverage. So if you have acne that you're trying to cover and hide, then full coverage might be the way that you want to go. Then you can get this wet. You're going to completely saturate it in water, and you're going to wring it out really good so that there's no excess water left. And then you're going to do the same thing, 1.5 turns, and you're going to dab all over your face. That's going to give you more sheer coverage, okay? So the Blenderful is a huge and a really great pairing with the botanical foundation that we have. I personally really love using this buffer brush. It's a little small, but it's like a little massage on your face, and it really blends in the foundation pretty fantastic. So I typically just take my brush and do a few swirls and just apply it this way. This gives me more of a sheer coverage as well. Now we have a new brush that is exactly like this buffer brush, but it is much larger, and it is called the diffuser brush. And it will do the same exact thing that I'm showing you right now. So a little bit of this makeup really goes a long way. The price point is right on. This foundation, it alone is $36. And if you get like a foundation and concealer palette, it, I believe, is a little bit cheaper. So it really does go a very long way. And it will last me a few months, 2 to 3, kind of depends on how much I'm using it. And if I'm doing more special events, then I'm going to do more full coverage. Look at that. Easy as that. I just love it. Trying to see if my lighting's showing you guys the greatest color right now. So, again, I will be posting a quiz for you all to take so I can help color match you. But, oh, I'm just obsessed with this foundation. Now, my mom actually really likes this foundation, and she's in her 50s. And I think that with wax-based foundation, when you use it in women who have fine lines and wrinkles, you're going to want to mix it with something. So some ladies like to use the Due Date, which gives you that B&B coverage. So I showed you dry blenderful, wet blenderful, buffer brush / diffuser brush, or you can mix it with the Due Date to get that B&B coverage. Or you could use the Sotox, which is our Botox in a bottle, and use just a slight amount of that mixed with your foundation, and you're getting dual action. You're getting your Sotox application in, and you're also using it to kind of give you that more B&B coverage. So I've put on my foundation. Now I would like to add a little contouring and a little bit of highlighting. So I use Concealer Zero under my eyes here. And I like to kind of bring that down into a V. And I will do a full face for you guys probably at the end of this party. I just wanted to get on here and show you in person how great this coverage is, because it's like, ah, especially for us busy moms, you know, you just want to swirl your brush, throw it on, and get going. And then for my contouring, I usually will use a bronzer, but this MB6, I believe, is what I have here. And the MB lines right now are more designed towards women of color, but we have some really great colors that are going to be launching soon. We've collaborated with Danessa Merrick's, and if you don't know who Danessa Merrick's is, like, Instagram her or go check her out, because she is super fantastic makeup artist, super fantastic photographer. I'm really excited because we have some great colors, range of colors coming in, some great neutral lips, highlighter palettes. It's going to be phenomenal. And it's going to really, really bring more options to women of color, which I think is huge. So typically when you do contouring, you want to kind of do it in like a 3, they say. So you kind of like do along your hairline, okay? And then you kind of bring it down into kind of where your cheeks suck in. And I know this looks really dramatic right now. You guys don't have no fear. And then usually you'll do some under kind of your jawline. So you kind of have like that 3 going on here. Okay? I know this looks crazy. So then I'm going to go back with my buffer brush, and I'm just going to buff all this out. And it's going to add a little bit of dimension to my face. Okay, you see how it already brought in some really great kind of like lightening underneath my eye here, but just slightly enough depth within my face. Okay, so I did the highlighter here already, and I am actually going to add a little bit to the top of my nose. If I was doing my eyebrows, this would be way more dramatic today, but I'm not, so I'm just going to just show you these basics. And then we're going to go back into this MB6 color, and we're going to do the same thing again. So I'm just going to kind of bring it out here. Okay, and again, this is looking really dramatic, I know. And then we're going to kind of do just under my jaw, or under my cheekbone. And you don't ever want to go like past kind of like the middle of your eye when you're doing this, okay? Otherwise you're going to bring it all the way in and you're going to look cray-cray. And I know I look cray-cray right now. Yeah, girls. I hope you guys are having so much fun so far. This is just a blast for me. I love doing these. I think it's so great to just learn something new. Whether you use these tips every once in a while or not, that's okay. It's still fun. All right, let's smooth this out a little bit. Blend it in. That's what I love about this buffer brush, is I can pretty much use it for everything at this point. And you see how it all is really pulling together. All right, and then if you wanted to really contour out your nose a little bit more, I pretty much just do like this with that MB. And then we're gonna blend that in a little bit more. Ooh. Doesn't that seem so much better? Now again, some people really love using the concealers to do all their contouring and highlighting. Concealer 0 for highlight. I have MB6 for my contouring. Or you can use just a simple bronzer. So if you were to purchase one of our makeup collections, then you could get yourself a foundation, 2 concealers. You could get one to cover certain things that you want to hide, whether that's you know, dark circles or scars like I have. Then I can help you out with that. So whatever foundation color you are, I can give you options on what 2 concealers to get. And then you can get a bronzer, which I don't have here, but a bronzer and a blush and a powder in a trio palette. And then you are completely set to do everything you would want to do for a full face look or a simple everyday kind of look. After I do my foundation and everything, I typically go in with this translucent pressed powder, and this is considered a setting powder. It's also really great at kind of pulling any oils out of your face, so this is my summer must-have item. When I'm on the go, I just have this in my purse, and I just eliminate all of those little oils that are sweating for the day. My makeup is staying put, but at least everything else is flying away. So I would add a little blush after this, do a full face, but again, I just wanted to at least focus on foundation and concealers, contouring, and highlighting. And then last but not least, we're going to top off with our Time Setter finishing spray. Again, travel size. Boom. All right, now I am all set. I'm gonna go out and I break a sweat and nothing's gonna change and nothing's gonna move. If you have any questions, drop them in the comments. I will be more than happy to answer, and watch for the post to do your color matching quiz for your foundation, okay? Have a great day, you guys. Love ya, bye!